bunch of tests done and say, okay, you're good. It's just a weird thing with insurance. All right, so we got to talk about homework because some of us are probably going to be surprised by this and potentially upset. But, like, for real, stop what you're doing and let's chat for a second. So, sometimes, like, things are your fault, right? Like, sometimes things are my fault, like, in my own personal life, right? Sometimes things are, like, student fault. Sometimes, though, they're teacher fault, right? Like, if a whole class does badly on a test, normally you'd be like, oh, that was not a great test, or something like that. So, the point of me trying to let homework just get turned in on Friday was to try to alleviate stress. However, for some of you, that's totally backfiring, and it's creating a giant ball of stress come Thursday night, or Friday morning, or Monday, like when grades get updated, or since I didn't get everything updated yesterday, this morning when I dropped in missings for people, because they're going in multiple assignments at a time. And if you forgot to do your homework for a week, now you have a week worth of homework that you had forgotten to do, and it feels like a lot. So we're going to keep on the 2-day expectation, but shift what it looks like. You still have 2 days to get your homework finished, but then it needs turned in. So we're not going to wait till Friday to turn everything in. So if you go look at the homework board, you should have yesterday had 521 done to turn in. If not, it should have gone on your to-do list of like, oh crap, I need to get that done. It was due. Today, you should have 522 done, ready to turn in, because it was from Friday, right? So if we think 2 business days, you had Friday, you had Monday. So now it's due on Tuesday, because I want to give you 2 days to be able to get things done. You really should be trying to get it done the day it's assigned. So 523 assigned today will be due Thursday, because that gives you Tuesday, gives you Wednesday. It is due on Thursday. Is there any confusion about how we're switching? Like, I can't guarantee I will update like exactly the day you turned it in. It's probably normally going to be the next morning. I come in early and I do my work in the morning. I just do better work in the morning. I've learned that about myself. If you would like to come in some morning, all you got to do is plan it with me. You can come into school early. If you're a morning person like me and you think you do better work, come into school early. I'll be here. I'll let you in. Any questions on how, like, and I'll keep doing, so over here Friday got a little weird because I ran out of space and I didn't want to erase. So Friday, 524 will be due because it's Wednesday's homework and 2 days after that. And I'm going to try to start checking more frequently, like with you guys to take questions. And I wish I had them pulled up, like the emails that kids have sent me. But guys, from the other class, like when we start their class, and sorry, I think for some reason I wrote that today is Thursday on your guys', no, I fixed it. But their class is starting with multiple homework questions because somebody emailed me and said, hey, can we go over this question? It's tough. Can we talk about it? Hey, this question's tough. Can we talk about it? Hey, this question's tough. Can we talk about it? Hey, can we talk about this? Their class is starting with homework problems because they have reached out and asked me, which tells me you're trying your homework on your own. You're struggling, which is the point. Struggles help us learn. And then we'll go over these because they identified they need help on them. So if you want us to review homework problems, just email me. Then I have time to plan it into my lesson. But right now is not the time to be like, I couldn't do 52. Like you need to ahead of time. And so I know you're actually doing your homework when you're supposed to be doing your homework. So questions on how we're switching our expectations. Today's homework, today's Tuesday, it'll be due Thursday. So. Sorry, I was passing them out and then you snuck into class. Does everyone have a 523 in front of them now?
I just got one from the back.
No, I have more. I was just passing them out so you were good. Please make sure your name is on that. I continue to have some issues with people that are forgetting their names, apparently. Some days I forget my name, too. There were a couple 3A papers up here, but they were from back before break. So I really don't think anyone cares about those anymore. I think that was all my announcements. Sweet. All right, so we have a situation, but I would love it if one of you wanted to read because, quite frankly, my throat kind of hurts, and I know you get tired of hearing me. We know what's going to happen if I call on Jay, and I'm okay with that. All right, Jay, take it away. In chapter. Sorry, this is not on your paper, so we just need you you up here listening to Jay and reading up here.
In chapter 1, we met Chris and her older brother, Rachel, who made a system for determining which one of them washed the dishes each night. Chris has been washing the dishes much more than she feels her fair share, so she has come up with a new system. She has proposed to Rachel that they get 2 coins, and each day she and Rachel will take a coin and flip their coins at the same time. If the coins match, Chris washes the dishes, and if they do not, Rachel washes the dishes. Rachel thinks this is a good idea, and that her silly little sister is very silly.
Now wait, so Rachel, who thinks this is a good idea, says, so Rachel washes when they don't match, right? Just checking that we all heard, because Jay's voice is very entertaining. So if the coins match, Chris washes. So sorry, start this part again, Jay.
If the coins match, Chris washes the dishes. If they do not match, Rachel washes the dishes. Rachel thinks that this is a good idea and that her little sister is very silly. She thinks to herself, since there are 2 ways to match the coins, heads and heads or tails and tails, there's only one non-match, heads and tails. Then Chris will still wash the dishes more often. Ha!
So think about this as 2 different coins. Now sorry coins are so small, but we have nickel and a penny. Right? I don't keep a lot of money here, so this is all I just found these in my drawers. So talk to your neighbor. Penny's gone. Talk to your neighbor about what do you think? Is this a fair deal? Is Chris silly? Is Rachel right? Like chat with each other about what you think. Go.
Actually, no, it's a lot more complicated than that. It's not. Yeah. Well, no, it isn't. No, it is.
You know there's a person beside you, right? You know there's a person beside you? Okay. It's real awkward when you two just both sit there in silence. You know that's going to make me want to call on you guys, right? Okay. It might help if we've had a conversation before we get called on, but you do you. I'm not in charge. Feel free to write some things down if you think that would help explain what you're trying to say. So penny, nickel. No, they're flipping at the same time. And they're even going to let them, like literally like flip. And then they just fall to the ground. Whatever happens, happens. All right, so here's the question we're trying to answer. Do we think this is a fair deal? Or is this like rigged? Is somebody getting like the short straw, which is like an expression of like you don't want the short straw, right? That all means you have to do something crappy. So Link, what are you thinking? Do you think this is a fair deal?
No.
Okay, why not?
Because Rachel has a 0.33 chance and Chris has a 66.6661% chance.
Okay. Kyra, what do you think? Is this a fair deal? Why not? Okay. Isaac's not here. Isaac, we miss you. Brad, what do you think? So far we've got 3 people saying we agree with Rachel. This is like rigged. And now that hands are shooting up, I feel like not everyone agrees. Asher? What do you mean technically? I don't even think we need that word. They're all like, I agree with you, but say more. Okay. Sorry that the penny's kind of hard to see, guys. It's just dark. Okay, so mismatch, right? Asher said, make this tails, make this heads. Okay, go on. Is that the same as what we just had? No. So, how this makes sense to look at? Let's, using those two colors that you got, let's just say the nickel is one color. You pick based on the colors that you have. I'm using my bright ones up here. So the nickel could be heads or tails, right? And then the penny could be, you don't have to write all of this actually. What I want you to write is this box where we're going to put heads, tails, heads, tails. So this could work just like Battleship, right? When you do grid work with Battleship, of like this column belongs to the green heads. So this would be heads, and this would be heads. This would be tails, and this would be tails. Go ahead and fill in the penny results. Go ahead and fill in the penny results. And again, I have tons of graph paper. You do not need to draw small. Feel free to draw as big as you want. So my yellow results now take the rows, not the columns. Right, columns hold up buildings, rows go across. So my penny, that needs to be yellow. My penny heads across there, tails across here. I think Asher kind of just dropped the mic. Because sure, not matching feels like one coin heads, one coin tails is not matching. But the problem is, there are two different coins that could be heads, tails, or tails, heads, like Asher said, so are not matching. What's our chance of not matching? 1/2, right? 2 out of 4, 50%. All of those answers are right. What's our chance of matching? 50%, 1/2, 2, 4, 7. So is this rigged? No, this is fair. Guys, this is, I swear to you, Scouts on. This is the biggest argument I've ever gotten in with my wife's dad. My wife's dad, your father-in-law, if you know that term. So my wife's dad plays craps. It's a casino game involving dice rolling. When a 7 gets rolled, and like not often, but we were on vacation, right? There was a casino. He wanted to play craps. We were talking about craps. I didn't know how to play. No joke. This is a true story. So we were talking about probability, and he was explaining to me that a 7 in that game is like a crap out. I think everybody loses, and the house wins, right? Whenever the table loses, everyone trying to win money from the casino. So we were talking about how many ways there are to make a 7. This 1 and 6, right? Sorry about my clear die. I really need to get another set of dice, but I like that these are bigger. That 1 and 6. Look up here. You have to look for this to make sense. Is that the same as that 1 and 6? No. And he was arguing that there were only so many ways to make a 7. I'm like, no, there's twice as many. And he goes, no, there's 6 and 1, 3 and 4, 2 and 5. I go, yeah, and switch all those numbers around. He goes, yeah, but they're the same. It's not when you look at the dice as two different colors. Because think about Monopoly. Both your dice are white dice with black dots, right? Think about most dice games. The dice look the same. But when we think about this under the pretense of coins and different coins, it's real obvious to say tails on the nickel, heads on the penny is different than heads on the nickel, tails on the penny. That's the same as saying a 1 and a 6 is different than a 6 and a 1. guys, this is why we like come to math class and learn. I'm telling you, like, and from that point on, we've kind of joked about when I taught him math, because he's a brilliant guy. He works on semi trucks. He's like really smart, but that was one thing that I knew that he didn't know, and I was really proud of myself. So maybe someday you'll be able to win an argument of like, no, there are not just 3 ways to make a 7. Literally, when you're rolling dice, there are 6 ways to make a 7. It's crazy. All right, I got a video before we dive into the next thing. I'm just going to leave my thing recording. We'll see what happens, but I've been having issues with my software today. So if they flag my video, whatever. I'll just take it down.
What is that? Rock, paper, scissors, lizard, Spock was created by internet pioneer Sam Cass as an improvement on the classic game Rock, Paper, Scissors. All hail Sam Cass. Hail.
You guys know how to play rock, paper, scissors, lizard, Spock, right?
Oh, very simple. Scissors cuts paper. Paper covers rock. Rock crushes lizard. Lizard poisons Spock. Spock smashes scissors. Scissors decapitates lizard. Lizard eats paper. Paper disproves Spock. Spock vaporizes rock, and as it always has, rock crushes scissors.
Of course, Rock. You guys got it, right? You ready to play? Yeah?
I'm sorry.
I don't believe you.
Yes, I get it.
Well, of course. Scissors cuts paper. Paper covers rock. Rock crushes lizard. Lizard poisons Spock. Spock smashes scissors. Scissors decapitates lizard. Lizard eats paper. Paper disproves Spock. Spock vaporizes rock, and as it always has, rock crushes scissors. Almost done. One more time?
Okay, we're not going to let it play a third time. So, we're not going to play the Lizard Spock version. Look, you can if you want after you do what I'm asking you to. I'm like, I don't really care if you do other stuff. I just need you to do this first. So, we got a review, because I have learned through my years of teaching, not everyone plays this the same. To play rock, paper, scissors, let's say it's me and Monson. And I don't care how you play at home, this is how we play in this room, because, well, this is my space. We both put this out, somebody or both of us say rock, paper, scissors. You do not throw on scissors. You throw on shoot. Now, if you play it differently, that's fine, but in here, we throw on shoot. So, let's play. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. So, paper and rock, what happens? Paper covers rock. I still don't quite understand this, but sure. Paper beats rock. Now, what happened when we first both threw scissors? We tied, right? So there's not always a winner, right? There's not always going to be a winner. So paper covered rock. Let's go again. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Oh, rock and scissors, what happens? Rock crushes my scissors. And rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Ooh, what happens, scissor, paper? Paper gets cut by the scissors. So I want you, before you start playing, I want you and your neighbor to discuss, do you think rock, paper, scissors is a fair game? Now, what can we remember? What did we define as fair? What does it mean for something to be a fair? When you think about the games that you've played. Callum's still not here. Callum, come back to us. We miss you. Harrison, what did we say a fair game is?
50-50.
Not always. Sometimes it is. But fair has a different definition. It doesn't just have to be 50-50. It could. You're not wrong. But there's a better definition. Monsef?
So let's say you're playing a game. For it to be fair, each person has to have an
Equal chance at being able to win. Right? Equal chance at winning. So I want you to turn to your neighbor and discuss, do you think it's fair? But then, as soon as you finish that conversation, I want you to play 12 times. But you need to keep track. Now, you've got 2 options to keep track. One of you could keep track for both of you, and here, hold on, because I see people moving. Just wait, I'm going to give you time. So up here, they could do Monsef, Link, and tie, right? If Monsef and Link are playing against each other, and one of them could just keep, or they could both keep track like this. Actually, that's my suggestion. Unless your initials are exactly the same, the alternative is you could write down me, them, and tie, right? But if you have different different initials, you could just do like how many times did Monsat win, how many times did Link win, how many times did we tie. You're tracking 12 games. Cool? Know what we're doing? All right, go for it. Start battling.
That's why I always like say I'm the rock paper scissors master. You're not. You just got lucky.
All right, so we've discussed it. Go ahead and start playing. Discuss this. If we're not in pairs, we can. So they're playing it. You want to play against me? You gonna track it? All right. Let's write down some columns. Jay, Hudson, Todd. We need a tie space. We need like a T out here when we tie. Hey, we are going to count the ties. Like, we need to track how many ties. All right, ready? One, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Delay. Also saying on purpose so we can discuss it. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Just like off this thing.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Excuse me. There's no strategy. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Make sure to track your ties. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
Play alive, actually,
We could just do tally marks if you wanted. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. You celebrate. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. How many? Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. I'm trying to figure out what your strategy is. I think you need to play like a while. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Rock, paper, scissors, shoot.
8 against 3 and 1 tie.
See, I'm starting to learn.
How it works.
Rock, paper, scissors, shoot. Ah, I forget how many. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Ah, Jay destroyed me.
Yeah.
How many times did he beat you?
We're gonna hold on.
6 to 3.
We're gonna talk about it. Mason, what were your guys' results?
I got 4, Isaac got 3, and got 5 ties.
All right, Jenny, what about you guys? 2, 4, and 6. Sophie, what about you guys? All right, Jay, what about your results?
I got 6 wins. Wow. And Mr. Hudson got 1, 2, 3, and we got 3 ties. No, 2 ties.
Soul, moving on. Soul, what were your results?
4 each.
4 each. Interesting. Already talked with you guys. Izzy.
Also 4 each.
Interesting. So, what we just... Sorry, was there a group I missed? Yeah, sorry. Harrison, Van, what'd you guys do?
I got 8, Van got 3, and we got 1 tie.
It's because some of my cards... This worked out this morning, but I forgot you guys were bigger class, so it's harder. So, sorry, how many?
8 for me, 3 for Van,
8?
and 1 tie.
How about you guys?
We both got 5, and then we had 2 ties.
Ooh, interesting. Okay. So, does what your opponent throws, like, in that single round, I have to clarify because Jay is like, I have skill at this game. What? But I believe it. Dude, he kicked my butt. He was cooking. So I believe him. But, like, does Jay know what I'm going to throw before I throw?
No.
He shouldn't. I'm not guaranteed he doesn't. I'm a
Reading
little
minds.
suspicious.
He can read minds.
Joseph,
Wear an
Joseph,
aluminum foil hat tomorrow. Okay, but for real. So this is independent. What I'm throwing is independent of what Jay is throwing, right? There's a video now on our Schoology. If you start getting into the homework problems, talk about independent versus dependent, and you want a bit more clarification, we're gonna keep talking about this stuff. Like, we're still way in the middle of this chapter. We're not near the end. We're doing a quiz Thursday, but the quiz is stuff you've already covered on your homework, like from last week. So we should not know what our opponent is throwing. That should not impact us. And here's where I need your attention. We just did experimental probability. Because we did it. We ran the experiment. We tested it. And we almost all got different results. Couple groups matched at 4 and 4 and 4. And then we had a lot of random results of like 5 and 5 and 2, and like 5 and 3 and 6 and 3 and... So that's because it was experimental. If we think about the theoretical, and we'll write down these vocab words at some point. You don't have to write it down today. Have you talked in science class about what a theory is? If somebody has a theory, does anyone want to talk about what a theory is? Okay.
Do you have a theory about what a theory is?
No. Yes.
What's a theory? If you have a theory, have you tested it yet?
No, you haven't. It's a question that you have that you want to test.
So a theory is just like a thought, like what we think, what we predict. Put this on your paper, would you?
I have a question.
On your graph, doubt you'll fit this on your homework paper. Rock, paper, scissors, right? If I'm green and you're yellow, or Jay, since you know. What should happen? Well, I'm gonna fill in my rock.
Sarah Merchant to the Perry office. Just a moment. Sarah Merchant to the Perry office.
And then my rocks across. My papers across. My scissors across. So I've color coded up here. I know you can't write in white, but I'm going to. I'm going to make my ties. I'm going to circle those in white. When do we tie?
Every single time. No. No.
Nope, that's not true. Scratch that.
No.
When do we tie?
3 times.
Well, yeah, but when the results
Our
they match, right? When the results match. So tie. So what's my chance? What's my probability of a tie?
1/3. Wait.
I'm gonna unreduce it first. Yeah, 1/3. Right? Now, did I actually get 1/3 ties? Well, if you're Kyra and Izzy, yes. If you're Sol and Asher, yes. They actually got 1/3 ties. You did not. Like, right? Like, all because it's supposed to happen doesn't mean it will. What's my probability of me winning? Green wins, no, scissors, no. Wait, yeah, paper versus rock, yeah, green wins. Scissors versus paper, and rock versus scissors. Oh, so what's my chance of winning? 1/3, right? Again, 3/9. 1/3. What does that leave the chance of your opponent winning? 1/3, right? Guys, that theoretical probability is what is supposed to happen. That's lottery tickets for Christmas.
Can I have one?
I got
Sure, because they're all losers.
It's
No, because I use them for teaching.
Oh.
So, now I had 4. I think one got lost in my backpack or something. Take a moment, turn to your neighbor. What do you think the probability of winning on one of these tickets is? I'm going to show it to you, but turn to a neighbor. Talk about what you think.
the lowest chance for
Harrison?
What is that? Like, and then the parentheses.
Probability of. Yeah, that's how we're writing probability. It's been on our homework a bit, but now we're starting to use it now. So they've been showing it to us, but we haven't written it much, so great question. Hey, Harrison clarified. Reminder, this is probability of a tie. So it's to save us from writing out the whole word, right? So this is how we write out probability of me winning, probability of them winning.
How many are like little scratches
What do you-
on each one?
That doesn't matter, but there are 6. That doesn't actually change anything.
Wait.
Van, what do you think the chance of winning on like an individual lottery ticket is? Just what do you think? 1 out of what? 1 out of 7. Sure. Anna, what do you think? 1 out of 4. Isaac B, what do you think? Okay.
Hey, you won $2.
I did not.
Oh yeah.
1 out of 3.99. Anna knew it. It's 1 out of 4. But look at what they consider the prizes, the winning. How much could I win? Alternatively, how much could I win? Yeah, you went for the big money. Alternatively, what's the lowest I could win? I spent $1. So I spent $1 on this ticket. Right now, forget that these were Christmas presents, but like, let's imagine I spent $1. I get $1. Did I win?
No.
No. I got back what I put in. I don't consider that a victory. And it was trash. I don't consider that a victory either. This 1 in 4 chance, it's kind of a lie. Like, it's true, you have a 1 in 4 chance of getting money from this card. But to get
But
$1
just
back
getting
when you
money.
spent $1. So here's the thing. People aren't dumb. Well, some people.
Nah.
And you read the back of this, right? And you see it's a 1 in 4 chance of winning. So, okay, 1 out of 4 tickets is a winner. I go buy 4 tickets. Is one of them a winner?
No.
Not necessarily. This is our theoretical probability. In theory, and they have to, by law, 1 out of every 4 tickets wins. But that doesn't mean they're spaced winner, loser, 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 winner, loser, 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 winner. That'd be dumb. Then people would learn how to like play the game, and they
They won a bunch of money and they lose a bunch of money. They probably go bankrupt.
But what if my winner is just $1, right? And I spent $4 and I won $1. I really lost $3. So guys, what I'm trying to teach you, with hopefully something that relates to you, theoretical theory is just what we think, right? That TH, theory, theoretical, what we think. Experimental, my experimental probability from these, if none of them were winners, what's my experimental probability? What's my total? 3. How many times did I win? 0. So my experiment came back with the results that my chance of winning, you don't need to write this down, but so my quote-unquote chance of winning is 0 out of 3. Is that what it actually is? No. But is that what my experiment showed? Yes. Theoretical is just what is supposed to happen. Experimental is when we do it and see what actually does happen. Not really.
Almost.
They make you think that they make you get excited because then there's this whole human thing about like, oh, I almost won, I should buy 1 more ticket.
Still though.
But that this ticket has nothing to do with this ticket, right? And guys, this is why at the casino, this is why people lose tons and tons of money at the casino. Because they will think, I've lost 20 times in a row. I've got to win soon. The probability says I can't just lose. I mean, yeah, the probability says you should win at some point. Does that mean you're going
Could be
to
in 5 years.
before you run out of money? Not necessarily.
Picture of the guy mining diamonds.
Guys, in roulette, you know the game with the wheel and the ball? Roulette is one of the most predictable games because it's a ball of numbers. You can watch everything that's happening. There's no deck of cards being shuffled. Do you know what your chance of winning on roulette, the game with the numbers, wheel, do you know what your chance of winning in that game is?
1 out of whatever number.
I'm not even sure, but I know the math behind it.
Let's say there's like 32 numbers.
Here, if I'm going to talk about it, I might as well show you guys.
He's about to show us gambling.
No, I'm about to try to convince you not to go gamble.
I want to gamble at least once in my life to see
So,
how it is.
here's what a roulette wheel looks like. I like
Oh,
this
I've
one.
seen
It looks
those in
fancy.
movies.
Actually, this one's more accurate.
I've seen them a lot in movies.
So, you can bet on black or red or green. If there are equal numbers of black and red, and equal, oh, obviously there's 2 green, right? And actually, when you bet on green, I think you have to choose, are you betting single zero or double zero? So obviously the greens, how likely is green? 1 out of whatever's here, or 2, if you say both of
So you
them.
get more money if you got a green.
So even with this game, the chance of winning with red, 48%. Chance of winning with black, 48%.
And then
So what's your chance of losing? 52%. So there's this whole idea. We're like, well, okay, so I go to the roulette table, I bet $100, I lose. Now, I would never do this, just be aware. I do not gamble because I know math. So I lose my $100. So I'm going to bet again, I double my bet. Because if I win that bet, I win back my original money. Right? I mean, if I double my bet, like when people say double or nothing, when you double your bet, you'd win back your original. I lose my 200. Okay, so just double your bet again.
Oh,
Now you're betting 400. And you've already lost 300. Remember that. I lose my 400. I've only lost 3 times now. I got to double my bet again.
No.
And I got to bet 800. So, like that has been attempted by people. Because the probability of losing like 8 or 9 times in a row is pretty unlikely. But what if then you've lost your whole life savings? All because it was unlikely that you will lose that many times in a row. That doesn't mean you can't, right? Theoretical probability and experimental are very different. I'm out of time. Go ahead, Brian, finish this. Have a great day, guys.
we get to watch people argue in front of us.
Oh.
Sadly, we're not allowed to weigh in.
Yes.
I love arguing, but I'm not allowed to weigh in. Sorry.
I wish you guys would draw this up on not lined paper.
Well, that was the only paper I had.
Take some of my lined paper.
I was the only one at the moment.
Everybody okay? We good? Okay. It's all good. My stools keep breaking.
Thank you for telling us about gambling, Mr. Hudson.
I'm trying to get you not to gamble.
I would gamble at least once in my life.
Guys, you know what the word gamble means, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Like when you say something is a gamble, like it's a chance, it's not reliable, it's a gamble. You should not, Jay, do you want this back, Jay? I like it a lot. I just got to get ready for my next
I
class.
just wanted to show it to you.
Yeah, I got to save my video.